Welcome back. I hope you're having an amazing day. Today I'm sharing some organizing motivation as I reorganize our kitchen. I decided to reorganize our kitchen after Grant made me this drawer and cupboard. Before we used to have a dishwasher here, and now we have a lot more space. So I decided quite a few things could be moved around to make our kitchen flow a lot better. Here I'm just adding some contact paper so when I need to wipe this drawer out, it will be a lot easier. I decided to move our silverware over to the new drawer because it is a lot more sturdy and is less likely to fall out than the old drawer. Since I already had everything out of the drawers, I decided to wash all of my organizers and just get them clean as part of my spring cleaning. When we first moved in here, I just threw everything into the drawers and the cupboards without too much thought, but now that we've lived here for a while, I can see that we can put things in different areas for them to be a little bit more organized and to help with the flow of our kitchen. I decided to put all of our most used items together so that way we can access everything from one area. So I've moved our silverware and now we have the steak knives and the little clips and all of the little openers and shredders all in one drawer. I'm so excited about this. I'm also adding the contact paper in the cupboard because it is raw wood and it's a lot easier to wipe off with the contact paper. Now I'm just moving all of my glass containers and lids into this cupboard because where they were before, it was extremely hard to get them in and out and I ended up not using them. So putting them into this new cupboard, I can use them all the time very easily. I'm so happy with the way this looks and these are so easy to get to now. They used to be in here, which was super inconvenient, so now I have all of our daily cleaning type stuff here. And then back behind we have the extra lunch pails, then Emmett's lunch pail he uses every day, and then at the very back I have a more fancy salad bowl that we don't use too often. These are too big for the drawer, and then stuff I don't use as often, like a muddler for drinks. I just don't need to have it in the drawers, and a lot of it won't actually fit in there. I'm so excited. Here we have all of the baking type stuff. Here we have all of the cooking utensils and salad spoons and fork. Here is where I have all our kitchen towels and our beeswax wraps. I use these to cover food in the fridge. This is our Tupperware, dun dun dun. It is not organized, but that's all we have, and the kids just throw everything in there. There's no reason to organize it, but we don't have that many. These are mostly just for lunches, and everything else I put in glass containers. And now in this extremely tiny drawer that really nothing fits in, I can put what probably should be here, just the oven mitt and the heat mitts. And then now in here, I can just quickly grab out all these things that I don't use super often, but still like to have. And then I have my baking stuff really spread out and easy to grab. Here is our mixing bowls, and we have our nicer bowls at the back, one extra container. Back there I keep our extra Corelle dishes in case we have a party, we can pull those out. And then we have our only cutting board. And then down here is where we have the baking stuff, bowls, plates. Here's our cups we use every day, and then this is really all for when we have parties. Before we started decluttering, we had so many cups. It was crazy. I talk about this in a few different blog posts, and I think I've mentioned this in a few different videos, but we had probably 40 or more cups. Just the plastic little cups. We had kids cups, we had the short cups, we had the bigger cups, then we had glass cups. We had a ton of coffee mugs. We had a whole set of 8 IKEA white coffee mugs, and then we had a whole bunch of mixed matched ones. And yes, there could be that day when you have a humongous tea party or coffee party where you invite everybody you know, but that just never happened for us. So it was pretty simple to get rid of cups. When people ask me where to start decluttering, I always suggest start with the easiest thing you can declutter, and for me, that was cups. I just found there was no attachment to cups or mugs, and I could just get rid of all of the extra ones that we weren't using. So that was a really good way to get started, and I always suggest that to people when they ask how to get started or where to start. Just pick one small thing to declutter at a time and then work your way through. Decluttering for me was more like peeling an onion. There were so many layers to it. So I would go into an area, do an initial declutter, which was really obvious to me. So getting rid of duplicate items. So let's say I used to have 5 spatulas. I think I really did have 5 spatulas, but I would go in and say, how many spatulas do I really need? And so I would whittle it down, and I remember I kept 3 spatulas because I thought, well, maybe we need them. I had one of those really wide ones, and then I had 2 other plastic ones. And then I think it was about 6 months later, I realized we were not using the really big spatulas, so that could easily go. So I just paid attention to what we were using, and each time I revisited an area, it was easier to declutter. I could clearly see what we used, what we needed, and what we didn't need. When I very first started, I would walk into an area, feel extremely overwhelmed, and I would maybe declutter 1 or 2 items, and then I'd have to go away again. Or I would do one big project, and then I'd feel very happy about that, but then I could not declutter for another week or 2 because it was just too overwhelming. So I just find, do what you can when you can, and even decluttering a few items each week can add up. By the end of the year, you'll have tons of items that have left your house and created more space in your life. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button and tap the bell to never miss a video, and I'll see you next time. Bye. You can click one of these playlists for more decluttering inspiration, and check out our vlog channel for more simple living tips.